The following moments may contain explicit language. Viewer discretion is advised.
President Douchebag's whitewashing of American history kicked up a notch this week when the regime announced that the Smithsonian Museum would be resetting their exhibits to better match Trump's version. Trump has consistently proven that he doesn't know shit about history. He thought there were airports during the Revolutionary War, and just yesterday he didn't know what year the Civil War ended, probably because he and his friends are still fighting for the Confederacy. I'm looking at you, Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth. He also keeps saying how no one has ever seen anything like this before, but we have, in Germany, 1938. Trump said he was 98% involved in the selections for the Kennedy Center Honors, and also announced he would be hosting the ceremony. Trump said that all of these selections went through him and that he had to deny a lot of people for being too woke. Trump wrote in a Truth Social post, the reason he fired the Kennedy Center board and took it over was because they were hosting drag shows. So, of course, our ironically challenged president would choose the rock band Kiss for his first award ceremony. 4 men in makeup, wigs, spandex, leather, and chains, which lead guitarist Gene Simmons has called, quote, an homage to drag shows. The National Guard flooded the streets of D.C. yesterday, and Trump is already lobbying Congress for long-term solutions. Although he said he could circumvent Congress by declaring a national emergency. Trump would need the Democrats' help to get 60 votes in the Senate, where Minority Chuck Schumer said, quote, no fucking way, end quote. Trump said this should be a beacon to other cities with black mayors, wink wink, and the people should just join him instead of calling him a dictator. The first video I saw last night was 7 white guardsmen in tactical gear, clustered like a street gang. They walked up to an African-American man sitting on a stoop, smoking a cigarette, and asked him for his ID. The guy didn't have it because he was home and just stepped outside for a cigarette. So this guard gives him the spiel about how Trump's cleaning up the streets and being pleasant enough. And then he ends by saying, tell your boys that Trump doesn't want to see you drinking and smoking out here anymore. Do I have to let that sink in? Because I was pissed instantly. Not only because of the blatant racism, but there's a bigger picture here. He's going to do this in multiple cities using imaginary crime as a pretext when it's actually a pretense to put the military infrastructure in place to quash the protests when he refuses to leave the White House again. Trump and Putin are meeting in Alaska tomorrow. Trump said he is going to Russia to meet with Putin. I'm hoping it was just an unfortunate slip of the tongue, and this bullshit theater is just much ado about nothing. But knowing the art of the deal, can't help but wonder if it isn't possible foreshadowing. Trump is always good for some kind of heel turn during meetings with international leaders. He attacked Zelensky in the Oval Office for being ungrateful when he wouldn't capitulate Putin's first demands. He came out of the meeting with Netanyahu and killed our support for the two-state solution, withdrew us from the United Nations Human Rights Council, urging Israel to finish their genocide so he can build a coastal resort for the more fortunate. So, as I hope this summit ends up being irrelevant theater, there is possibility of something crazy and wildly unpopular could come out of it. It's being reported that Russia is hacking the federal court document system, and when Trump was asked if he would bring that up to Putin at the summit, Dick Face responded, "Are you surprised? That's what they do," and just dismissed it. There has still been no significant response to last week's shooting at the CDC in Atlanta that killed a police officer because some magatard believed the COVID vaccine was making his back pain worse. So he fired over 500 rounds into the CDC HQ. However, prosecutor Janine Pirro made a video about how she will throw the book at a frustrated man that threw a Subway sandwich at a masked ICE agent. charging him with felonious assault against a police officer. Donald Trump has made $4.5 billion selling crypto since he was elected. The DOJ has openly dropped corruption charges for the buyers of his meme coin. This is a clear violation of the Constitution's Emolument Clause, a high crime and impeachable offense. If you speak the truth, you're always right. I'll see you in hell.